Welcome back, everybody. This is Dale with Nerds in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. And we got another email. Someone emailed the store again. We are getting slammed with that fan mail. Thank you to our buddy Jim. He's actually a friend of the store's, and he saw me posting all these videos on the Facebook page and said, you know what? I actually used to play the Magic back in the 90s. And I want to see if there's anything worth anything. I want you to audit the collection, see if I should hang on to it, if I should sell it off. So let's kind of take a look at what he was doing. He gave me a time frame of when he's playing his around Ice Age, I believe he said. It's like Ice Age, Prophecy around that block. So we're going to see if there's anything of value. I mean, this binder is just absolutely stunning. I'm going to be moving the camera a lot in this video. I try to keep it still as best I can. Sometimes my elbow and hands have other plans, but today I'm going to be moving it intentionally, so these things are planned. Just keep that in mind. So I'm going to, pick up the whole tripod, not just the phone, because it's attached. This is a really cool binder. This is an Ultra Pro binder from, I think, 1995. I'm going to check the back here. It's in really good shape, too. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. $12.95. And yeah, that's a Pete Venter's art there. That's for $95. So we're going to flip through, see if we come across anything valuable. I did some research before the video because this really piqued my interest here. And the binder that I saw on eBay, I keep in mind it's the asking prices. I mean, it sold for that much. This binder on eBay in pretty rough shape sold for about $60. So that is really cool. This one's actually in really good shape. I mean, there's a little bit of a thing up there, but I mean, overall, you can tell he used it, but he didn't like throw it off a cliff or hit with a sledgehammer or anything too ridiculous. So let's take a trip down memory lane. A lot of Fallen Empire stuff right off the bat. So he has the blue in the front, it looks like. Unsummoned, very cool, white border. Got remove soul, spell blast, and just a heads up, you guys will probably see a timestamp on this video, so you know it's gonna be a longer one. We've been opening a lot of newer stuff, a lot of Ikoria. We're going to be opening some Theros and Throne here. Well, we've already opened it, but you'll see the videos here next week or two. So I'm going to slow roll a lot of this older stuff because we don't really see a whole lot of it on our channel. We see a lot of it in the store, but we don't really do a lot of product opening for the older stuff. So Twiddle, Snowfall, I always like that art. Really, really cool there by Phil. Okay, so we're going to the next page. Got Flood, Apprentice Wizard. It's funny, the original printing was actually printed as a rare. And then when they did a reprint, it was printed down to common. The original printing goes for about $5 or $6. This guy goes for about 25 cents. It's amazing how they completely knocked it down a few pegs. Creature Bond. There's a little bit of glare, so please forgive me. Control Magic, always a very iconic card. It really was the start of gaining control of other people's things. Prodigal Sorcerer, tap it, deal 1 damage. The color pie did not really exist back in those days, that's for sure. Illusionary Presence, Power Leak, Unstable Mutation, Power Sink, very, very cool art. I think it's Richard Thomas? Yeah, Richard Thomas. Ray of Erasure. Oh, Mr. Gamora. Got our first hit. Not a big hit, but about $5 or $6. We saw that in the store. Very cool. Cumulative upkeep. What a mechanic that was. Am I right? Fish liver oil. Infuse. Oops, a little bit of glare. Soul barrier. Gaseous form. Very nice. So again, I'm not seeing anything crazy in terms of value. Mr. Gamora is probably the best thing we've seen so far. But we're only a couple pages in here. Ooh, nice old school counterspell. Illusionary Forces. Steel Artifact. Now, that isn't Steel Enchantment. We'd be talking some money, but we're talking about a couple cents there. Vidalian Soldiers. Boomerang. Power Sink. Very cool art. Wall Vapor. Force Void. Force. I don't know why I put an accent on it. It's been a long day. Sea Troll. I was going to make a comment about my fiance, but I think that'd be the end of me having a fiance if I made a comment. Anyway, Flash Flood, Giant Tortoise, with a glare, Doesn't come with the card, by the way. Okay, there we go. Memory Lapse, very iconic art. Energy Tap, man, I love playing that back in the day. Jeez, oh man. Yeah, something coming in with summoning sickness, you just tap it down, second main or whatever. Just get that energy, get that mana right back. Very nice. Word of Undoing, 0-inch Spellcaster. Oh, and missed a jump. Missed a jump. And another counterspell, another really cool from Ice Age counterspell there. Plus, they actually had the flavor text on, and that was pretty cool too. You guys can look it up. I'm not going to hold this camera forever. My hand's getting tired already. Now getting into the black cards. Every time I see that card, I think it's worth something, but maybe I just like it. I don't know. Maybe because I played Knights for EDH for a while. They just have more of an affinity for it. Pretty cool things. Again, I'm kind of hoping to see some money, but not seeing it so far. I mean, things like Pestilence are just iconic cards, but they've been printed to absolute oblivion. So, unfortunately, these guys don't hold much value. Bograts, when walls are relevant. Oh, got him to Turok from that's Fallen Empires. Vampire Bat's another iconic card. That was from Arabian Nights, not the Chronicles. That was from OG Arabian Nights. We'd be talking some serious dough, but that's the thing that always throws me off is I see something like this, say Concord Crossroads from Legends. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. Then I see, oh, white border. Never mind. Never mind. Went from money to pocket change. Giant Slug, that's me at work. Weakness, what I'm feeling right now holding this camera. My god, how do people do that? I'm using an iPhone and my arm is just getting tired. Like, how do those guys carry up and down stairs at like baseball stadiums or whatever? It's, god, you couldn't pay me enough. I mean, maybe it could. I mean, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, right? Dark Ritual, very nice. Very iconic card. Another one that's got printed quite a bit, but still a very usable card, obviously. I mean, at 3 for 1, that's Value City every day, all day, twice on Sundays. Fallen Angel, Banshee, Funeral March. Ooh, Pestorats, pretty nice. Yeah, wow, Rats have a weird niche in Magic. Unholy Strength, missing the pentagram. If I had a pentagram, our one customer Bob would be all over it. He'd be seeing this video right now, calling the store saying, I want that. And we'd say, no, we're just auditing, Bob. You can't have all the cool things. Then he'd be very sad. Then he'd yell at me for opening Josh's box again. That's what Bob does. He comes in, he buys cool things, and he yells at me for picking on Josh. So at least you have a guy in your corner, Josh. You're welcome. I think that means thank you when Josh speak. Anyway, for all I know, Josh isn't even here. Got COPs. Oops. Oh, I saw my finger just running across. Okay, so we got a couple COPs there. Got red, green, and white. Death Ward. One of the first cards actually printed. Been printed a lot, especially in the early days. I haven't seen it reprinted in some time. No, I really like this old school art. Nothing against anything that they've come out with. I mean, I like the comic book variant for Ikoria. Doesn't look like Magic to me anymore, but I like it because I'm a comic book guy at heart. But when I think Magic, I think of this art style, hand drawn, very cool. Maybe a little, I don't say sketchy in terms of like, oh, that guy's sketchy. I mean, sketchy in terms of not computer generated, not so clean that it looks like someone took a picture of a cartoon or something. It looks like somebody actually spent time and really developed these. And it's like Swords of Plowshares. I mean, I've seen 3 or 4 different arts, and that's still always my favorite. I mean, God, you cannot beat that. Holy Strength, another iconic card. God, this is definitely bringing me back to the younger days of me playing Magic. Another Green Ward. Well, not another, that's actually the first one. We saw a Death Ward, that's what it was. Disenchant, another iconic card. Seems like a lot of these cards are just reprinted over and over and over again, the 90s and early 2000s. Then we don't see them again for a while, or we see them years later. And they kind of go through another phase of other cards getting printed to the moon and back. So again, we're not seeing the big money here, Jim. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but a lot of things that go for $1 or $2, like Instant Energy is even like 50 cents. I mean, if you're add it all up so far, Autumn Willow from Homelands. One of the few cards in Homelands actually worth more than 25 cents. But yeah, she was the card to pull back in those days. My goodness. Oofy. I think that's the pronunciation. That's how I pronounce it. That's how I did pronounce it, as you can tell, because you heard me do it. Tsunami, destroy all islands. Man, that was a broken card back in those days. Wall of Wood. And walls are a lot more prevalent than they are now. I mean, 0-3 for 1 was considered a must-play card in a lot of cases. Tinder Wall. Brownies. Are they ever going to make Brownie Tribal a thing? I doubt it. I'd be in for it. I'm a fan of desserts. Giant spider. No one cares about spiders. Root spider. Oh my god. Oops. Oh, get some debris inside of Jim's binder. I'll throw that away for him. Some fog action. Giant Growth, probably the most printed card in Magic history, if not mistaken. That's just a guess, but I don't think I'm wrong. If someone can think of a better example of a card that's been printed more, please let me know in the comments below. And obviously you can't count Basic Lands. No. That's too easy. Because I always thought for a long time it was Evolving Wilds, and actually the aforementioned Bob, another fog, that same one, to the page. I mentioned Giant Growth may have been printed more, and I think he's right because I looked that up, but there might be something printed more than that. So again, if you guys know, please let me know. Okay, so we got Tunnel, buries 1 wall. Orcish Captain, Fire Breathing, which they just kind of print that on a lot of dragons nowadays. Goblin Grenade, Red Elemental Blast, and okay, hello there, $15. How are you doing, Mr. Blood Moon? Again, we talked about the white border before. Originally from the dark. If it's from the dark, it'd be about $25, $30, if not mistaken. But from Chronicles, it's a bit less, but still, I mean, absolutely gorgeous, original art, Blood Moon. So far, I mean, just in between that and Mystic Grimoire, I mean, there's $20 just between 2 cards. Yeah, the rest of everything else, probably about $1 or $2 a piece. Obviously, there's a lot of bulk stuff from the Ice Age and Chronicles that Jim was using back in the day. Besides, not just the binder he gave us to look through. He has another small box. He gave us another deck box, and he also looks like there's a 5th edition starter deck from back in the day. So there's a few more things to look through. So I'm going to kind of go through some to get the idea of what the art looked like. Okay, we need to hold up for a second. That goblin is orc. Sorry, that orc is 100% picking his nose. And they caught him. And he's wearing a colander. I absolutely just love goofy, cartoony, goblin orc art. I think it's just hysterical. So if you guys see anything that I may have missed when I'm looking through for value, if you guys see anything like, "Going, you idiot, how'd you miss blah?" then let me know what blah is and make fun of me. Oh, Curd Ape. Another one of Bob's favorite cards. Yep, there's your, looks like that's the next page there. Tunnel, Fissure, Giant Strength, and another card that gets printed a good bit. It looks like this could be the last of the red. And we have a Dwarven Ruins, maybe about 50 cents, maybe $1. Oh, and there's a snow-covered mountain as well. Snow-covered land's always worth a little bit. I really do like the old school art, especially on the lands. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, before I get too excited, yes, that's originally it was from Legends, but Chronicles again. The reprint set that just kind of tanked a lot of the value. Ooh, Ashnod's Altar. Nice find there in the artifacts. Mission's War Machine. Voodoo Doll. Ring of the Ancients. I think might be worth maybe about $1 or $2. I don't remember. Been a while since I looked at the price on that. Barb Sextant. With some glare. Very nice. I mean, nothing else. This is just a nice trip down memory lane for a lot of you old school players. A lot of you guys playing back in middle school or high school, however old you guys were when the set came out. Rod of Ruin, not worth a heck of a lot, but still a really cool thing to see. It gives me some nightmares. Battering Ram, not worth a whole lot, but still pretty cool. Flying Carpet, Landcap. Landcap's pretty cool. Shapeshifter up there in the top left corner of the page. Living Armor. Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. There's Landcap on this page. Kind of a little ahead of myself there. Castle from Homelands. Yeah, Homelands was not anyone's favorite set, my gosh. And Urza's Power Plant. Mistress Factory. Man, that's a laboratory. Good lord, we'd be in Value Town. Clay Statue. And Necro Talisman's actually going to be closing it out. Yep, that's it. Nothing else in this really cool binder. So, unfortunately for Jim, I think the binder is actually worth more than the cards inside. Because you have to think about it if you're to piece everything off and from there. So I'm going to readjust the camera here for a minute, folks. Hang on, bear with me as we kind of zoom out a little bit on the Mutavault alternate art from John Avon. I think they use this as a Grand Prix promo, if not mistaken. Okay, everything's stable, hands off. Okay, we're good. So I guess we'll go to the 5th edition deck. Yep, 5th edition deck. It looks like there's some kind of plastic baggie on there. Okay. And we'll flip through, see if that actually is a complete set. Okay, so as you guys can see, this has definitely been played. And I'll go through these rather slowly so you guys can take a look here. I don't believe this was actually a full deck. I think he may have just cut the box and put some cards inside of it. I don't recall what came in these. Oh yeah, no, this was definitely not a complete deck. I mean, there's some black border, some white border mixed up in here. It's sort of cool to look through a lot of the stuff. Christopher Rush with some amazing arts on that spirit there. Was that 3-2 for 4. Target loses a flying 20 of turn. Regeneration, another iconic card there. Chub Toad. Gets me every time. Renewal. Gorgeous art. Another spirit there by Chris Rush. Oops, move my elbows back in. I see above the camera. When it takes right in front of me. Another brownie guy. Got some old school. Another Chris Rush. Yeah, he did a lot of art back in '95. Real cool forest there. David O'Connor with that one. Essence filter. Oh, he needs no filter. Sorry, Snapchat. Nature's Chosen. Another Chris Rush, forest. Another Wall of Wood we saw earlier on that. Killer Bees. Not to be confused with the Murder Hornets of 2020. Another Wall of Wood. Another Chode Chode. I'm going to laugh every single time I see that. And Blessed Wine. Very cool. All right, so that's going to bring us through. Again, I wouldn't call it the starter deck. I'd say things that are inside the starter deck box. But yeah, I mean, that's absolutely cool just to see something that's what year is it now? 2020. 5th edition came out what year? I can't remember. But I mean, $8.95 for one of these packs. 5th edition, oh, 97. Okay, so 23 years old. This thing is up reasonably well for just being some cardboard. So really cool. All right, what else does Jim have in his baggies or goodies here? Oh, there actually is looks like a boosty pack of Prophecy. It looked like he already had the fun of opening it, so I guess we don't get the fun of doing that. There's also a spin down die. I don't think there's anything special about it. I mean, it's just a D20. Not really a spin down, just a D20. A randomized die. Yep, back then they actually had different levels. Beginner, advanced, expert. So if you're opening booster packs, you're an expert. And, oops. Is this out of order? Yeah, he went out of order. Okay. So maybe see Ristic Study on camera. That'd be pretty cool. It'd be worth another couple Alexander Hamiltons there. About 20 bucks. Yes, I said a couple, so that's completely 2. Completely 2? No, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just getting to that point of the video where my brain is soup. Okay, so we got to open, well, flip through a pre-opened thing of Prophecy. Way too many cards. Sorry, Jim, I'm not going to organize these for you. We're just going to see if there's anything cool. Other than Holy Strength. Not the one of the pentagram. A lot of old school basic lands. There's a lot of them. Blessed Reversal, Angelic Blessing, Ice Flow. Another part of the land cycle there. Pacifism. I think it's the first one we've seen in the video. Another COP Black from Ice Age. Seasoned Marshal. She's seen some stuff, man. Another Dark Writ, white border. I believe that's 5th edition. Yeah, that's 5th edition. That's from 97. Bog Rats. Oh, very nice swamp there, Andrew Robinson. Thank you for your hard work, sir. Very much appreciated on the art. I mean, all said, I mean, if nothing else, there's a lot of nostalgia value. Oh, another Astronaut's Altar reprint there. I think that, I wouldn't say there's a lot of monetary value in this collection, unfortunately. But so far, best thing we've seen is that $60 plus binder. That's assuming that the asking price I saw earlier is actually reasonable and actually going to go for that. But, I mean, this is just really cool just to look through from a nostalgia perspective at this point. Funeral Charm, very cool. Gravedigger, been printed a few times. I think it's one time it's been printed in that art from Portal. You just see the Gravekeeper with a bag on his back. Hurricane, another one of those. I think we've seen a few of those if memory serves. You can definitely tell when he played. All right, we have one more little stack here. Then we have his deck to look through. See if anything pops out at us. Another battering ram, which I couldn't remember if it's worth anything. I still don't think it is. I don't think anything's changed in the last few minutes here. Another David O'Connor. We saw the same art a little bit ago. Another David. Another Chris Rush. Man, he drew a lot of lands back in his day. And John Avon with the iconic Forest. Absolutely gorgeous. I always wonder how long it takes him to draw. Like I can theoretically draw, but once it gets past like 15 minutes, I'm just like, nope, screw this. This is gonna end up in a dumpster where it belongs. I don't have the patience, and like the detail was just phenomenal in that Falcon. Dingus staff. Another ram. Yeah, like I said, so nothing too crazy popping out at me at this point. He did say he had a deck for us to look through as well. Gave me a find. Worth maybe about 50 cents or so. I mean, this is be one drop. You can put something from your graveyard to your, the top of your library. Oh, into your hand, sorry. I mean, you can tell it's been a while since I played with these cards. Oh my gosh. Okay, and the last thing we're going to look at is another old Ultra Pro product from the 90s. They're calling it a deck binder. They're doing it really cool. B-Y-N-D-R. You know, like how the cool kids spell things back in the 90s. Because they listen to Pink Floyd one too many times. We don't need no education. We don't care how you spell things. It's very cool aesthetic here. Obviously, that's where the opening is. Now, these things go for about 15 bucks a piece online that I've seen. It has a little bit of dust there. I can tell he hasn't played in quite some time. That's okay, Jim. Maybe this video will get you back into playing some of the new stuff. Maybe upgrade your collection a little bit. Okay, so, yep, that's the classic Mark Pool land. Both of them. Those islands are phenomenal. Nothing too crazy. Just straight to the point. This is an island. And you're going to believe it. If they told you this is an island, I'd have to say, yeah, that is indeed an island. You don't have to convince me of anything. Okay, so he has an Ether Storm from Homelands. Another Mark Pool art. There's a nighttime picture of that. Okay. Retribution, Giant Albatross, Incinerate, an island, a mountain, Errant Minion. You can enchant a creature, Sleight of Mind, very cool. Interrupt, they used to be a mechanic for all your new guys playing. Interrupt used to be a mechanic. It was one step faster than instant. But they just retconned everything that was interrupt. It's now an instant. So, in stacking, yeah. Have fun trying to do that as an up-and-coming judge or rules advisor. On summon, bounce on the back of his hand, very cool. Dwarven Vigilantes, they mean business. Pit Trap. Lightning Bolt, there we go. There's $2 right there. Retribution, Urza's Power Plant. I'm not seeing a whole lot of artifacts. I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, okay, that's the reason why. So back in these days when they were playing the Urza lands, if they're playing Lightning Bolts and they're doing red-blue burn, they usually had something like Disintegrate, with anything with an X cost. They would try to pump out the value with the Urza's land cycle, the power plant, the tower, and the mine. So wow, that's absolutely, and yep, mine, tower, power plant, yep, okay, we got them. So that's literally the reason why you only see probably about 2 or 3. Oh, another bolt shatter. That's why you'll see the Urza lands in that type of deck, was just because they had a couple cards that had an X cost in it. Teleport, Hamlet of Krug. So very, very cool. You can definitely tell when he played. And there we go. This was his main board, and he had Illusionary Wall as part of the main board. Flying First Strike, and they didn't have to say Defender. If it was a wall, it had Defender. That is absolutely crazy that a card like that used to be a must-have in the deck. Lava Burst, another X-cost spell. That's why I had the Urza lands, kids. Fireball, boom, another one. So it looks like there's 4 X-cost spells all set, and there's a 4th bolt. And Fountain of Youth. I mean, might see some play in Legacy Cheers. I don't recall. I don't play Legacy. Well, I haven't for some time. But yeah, I mean, honestly, really cool. Thank you guys for commenting, liking, and subscribing. And we really didn't get to open anything, but we kind of went through some stuff. But we got to open something legendary there. We got to open something legendary. Thank you again for tuning in, and hopefully this was a nice little nostalgia trip for you guys who were playing back in the 90s. All right, thanks again for watching. See you next time.